Hey everybody, welcome to Info Chunks. We all look at successful companies built by successful people and just marvel at them. Those gigantic enterprises like Google, Microsoft, Tesla, Tata, Accenture, they just fascinate me too. But these businesses didn't emerge out of thin air, did they? They have a story behind them. Every story is different, but I bet all of them are interesting. So to bring these stories to your screens, I'm starting a series titled Crazy Entrepreneurs. In this series, we will look at businesses throughout history, their inception, their compelling journey, why it became a success, their failures along the way, the people behind it, their creative tactics and strategies to propel the company to the top. Through that, on one hand, you and I can appreciate and enjoy those real stories, learn from them for our personal and professional lives, increase our business knowledge, and get into the mind of an entrepreneur. So that being said, let me take you back to the 1800s during the Industrial Revolution, when the son of a homeopathic doctor built a $1 trillion oil empire that went by the name Standard Oil, and the entrepreneur was none other than the great John D Rockefeller. Standard Oil was a business behemoth that controlled 90% of the oil market in the 1890s. The company was known for its aggressive and competitive pricing strategies. And the mastermind behind it all was John Rockefeller, who's probably the richest man in modern history. So how did he do that? Well, first of all, even before the Standard Oil saga, John earned the reputation of being a genius and a prudent businessman. He always had an eye for opportunities. So when the infamous Pennsylvania oil rush was discovered, he was ready to capitalize on that opportunity. But here's the catch. John researched hard and found out that extracting oil is extremely costly and it already had a lot of strong competitors. So he shifted his focus to refining. If you see, oil, when it is extracted, is always in crude form. From that, kerosene and other usable fuels are obtained through distillation and other purification processes. And this idea was the foundation of the Standard Oil Trust. In 1863, he and his partners opened their first refinery in Cleveland, and that refinery was extremely close to the railroads. This location gave them a huge advantage because of its low transportation costs. After its quick success, John went on to expand the company and incorporated it under the name Standard Oil. Over the course of the company, John used some brilliant strategies that just took the company to the top. Firstly, in order to increase their efficiency and revenue, his company was the first to utilize and sell the waste of the refining process to make paraffin, wax, Vaseline, naphtha, and benzene. Secondly, John built great relationships with the railroad authorities and made secret deals for rebates and low transportation prices. Thirdly, the company built pipelines all over the city just to transport their products. Finally, the strategy that made John a villain to some and a hero to many was his aggressive monopoly strategies. Using his already established dominance in the market, John would sell his products at extremely low prices to just eliminate competition. And he would later buy those companies which were running at a loss because of him at low prices. In 1865, he acquired 22 of his 26 competitors. And interestingly, he would employ the owners of those companies in his own company. All this combined made the Standard Oil a monopoly in the market, who were also starting their international trade at that time. One aspect, I think, which often goes unnoticed is the managerial ability of John D Rockefeller. His leadership style was also extremely different from the then existing master-slave relationship. He exercised authority in silence. He constantly focused on self-control. He was always kind, always listened. His silence alone would win him massive deals and negotiations. Nothing fazed him. He was always great with numbers and finance because he was a bookkeeper when he was young. He paid great attention to detail and never left an opportunity that can help him go one step further. Finally, he always had an aggressive business mindset, which can be seen in his quote where he says,
"Growth of a large business is merely the survival of the fittest."
So these monopolistic strategies did bring a lot of heat and criticism from the government and the media. Standard Oil had to shift its headquarters completely to New Jersey because the Ohio court had ordered them to be completely dissolved. The first antitrust laws and the Sherman Act was brought just to control this company. Antitrust laws are laws to curb monopolies, promote competition, and give more and more choices to customers. Ultimately, in 1911, the company divested itself into 33 companies under the court order, which in a funny way did become profitable for its investors, especially John Rockefeller. Companies like Exxon, Mobil, Chevron are actually branches of the once mighty Standard Oil Trust. So this is the story of Standard Oil. So that's all from my side. I hope you found this video extremely useful and interesting. If you did, make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.